How's everybody doing? Back again with another episode of the Until I'm Famous podcast. Um, I'm trying to find a proper way to start this podcast. I think how's it going, everybody? Usually is like a good way to start. But sometimes you don't want to get stagnant doing the same thing. Like, oh, how's it going, everybody? Nah, you know what? That's too much energy. I don't think nobody's really ready for just all that energy. Trying to get people excited, get people motivated. You know how like them motivational speakers and shit that you just be like watching like I think like when they motherfuckers be talking, I'm like, that's some fucking bullshit. Like I know they don't, I know they not believing that shit. Like these motherfuckers get up, you gotta just do this, and do something, and then like deep down inside they just fucking crying. But you know what? It's not a proper way to start the episode of Until I'm Famous podcast. This is episode 13, I think. All right, 13. Remember, I don't fact check. I just go off the top of the head. All right. So episode 13 of Until My Famous podcast, right? And we just seeing how my mind's like, right? I think the last episode I really hard on the Bill Cosby situation. Well, not situation, Bill Cosby shit. It's not really a situation anymore. It's kind of like already done. The situation's been handled, so to say. But I still talked about it a lot and talked about it very heavy. So I'm just sitting there. I'm dwelling on it. Still watching the Cosby episodes. Still fucking it up on a religious basis. Just come home, watch it, get over it. But hey, I'm glad I'm able to talk about these things and stuff like that. I don't know if it's gonna I don't know how people are going to take it, but it's not my job to find out how people take it. It's not my job to be, it's not my job to be like fucking caring about other people's feelings. That's not my job. Like, it's not. I can't care about anybody else's feelings because it's. I don't know what makes you, what fucking affects you. I can't tell you what affects you. I know what affects me. I know I feel better when I talk about it, right? I feel better. I get it off my chest. It may rub people the wrong way, but if it rubs people the wrong way, it's supposed to. It was supposed to rub you the wrong way. You're supposed to be offended by that. If that hurts your feelings that bad, you're supposed to hurt your feelings. Your feelings supposed to get hurt. And if your feelings supposed to get hurt, that's cool. I don't know what you want me to say to that one, right? But I'm just glad to be back. And I didn't do an episode last week was because I was fucking exhausted. Like I wanted to, and I probably could have did it throughout the week, but I couldn't do it throughout the week. But I was like exhausted. I was like mentally drained and physically drained. And that process was just. I tried to do it, but I felt like I wasn't gonna put out a good product because I was just too tired, and it probably has been some bullshit. But I put out bullshit before, humbly. I humbly put out bullshit before. I stand by it. So I probably should have put out the bullshit. Now you know what? I'm glad I did it because I just needed a little bit of some sleep. I could have did it on Monday, but I didn't. I'm sorry. I should have did it on Monday, but I'm doing it now. That's the beauty of it. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop until I'm famous. Okay, that's not. I'm not gonna stop when I'm famous. I'm not gonna stop until whatever. When I get famous, right? It's gonna be now I'm famous. That's gonna be the new name of the podcast episode. Just a forethought, forward thinking, right? Just putting it out there. It's forward thinking. But and I'm gonna just find a way to throw in two L's, because we obviously know that people look at me and go, "Oh my God, you spelled until wrong." I know I spelled until wrong. It's until because my last name has two L's. But if you're really being honest, I had misspelled it the first time. I had put two L's on it, and then I said, you know what? I'm gonna stand by this mistake, and I'm gonna make sure. I could have just fixed it, but nah. We need this. It's a deeper message between all this. We need the two L's, and people like wondering, oh my God, you spelled on two. Well, and then again, the reason why I also left the two L's in it because I don't want to get like big. Kind of find out somebody has another podcast called Until I'm Famous. So now, to avoid that kind of issue, it's until two L's, right? Because I seen somebody had a podcast where it was like the same name, and he had it on Spotify, but that shit got taken down because it was like copyright issues of having like the same name and shit like that. But whatever. All right, so I'm trying to think of what kind of topics I should talk about. What's on my mind. I'm still sad that the comedy clubs still aren't open. I miss that. Actually, I really do miss it. But you just gotta accept it. Just watching the comedy clubs not being open, not being able to do something that I love and something that I dream, something that I want to make it in. But hey, I just know when I go back on stage, I am going to have to start over from square one again, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. At least it's better than nothing. I'm just trying to, figure out what the temperature gonna be like when we go out there. Like it got to be a little different. Like shit ain't gonna be that funny no more. I don't like it's gonna be hard. Like cause with comedy, right? Comedy is like such a like fucking thing where sometimes the topical shit is you have to do it the day of or you have to do it soon because it comes to a point in time where that shit can get stale. Like a lot of times, like all this shit can get fucking like shit can get stale fast if you keep doing it and you do it too late. It can get stale. So it's gonna be. I don't know what the fuck's gonna be funny when they open up the comedy because I don't know what's gonna be funny now. It's gonna be a little tough, but it's worth figuring out. Well, that's gonna be the worst when you find out. You had like. That's why I'll be honest with you. I haven't been writing any jokes or writing anything. I've been writing like little scripts and shit, trying to perfect a good script or something like that. But that's not jokes. But like writing jokes is gonna be tough because like writing jokes now, like think about it, right? If you haven't been on stage since they closed the shit down, the jokes that you had, you can't do that shit when you go back on stage. It's fucking over. Okay, we know coronavirus is still going on. All right, what's next? All right, we got you. What's next? So, that's the problem with writing shit out. But it's always good to have a plan when you're writing stuff. With jokes and shit like that. But it's like it's crazy. Some of my favorite comics I like because they don't write. Even though some of the comics that I like, I don't know. I think I gotta really look into Richard Pryor because I don't know if Richard Pryor was writing and shit like that. But I know Teresa No didn't write, and I know George Carlin wrote his shit out. But George Carlin, he wasn't out there doing fuck. George Carlin was really like a soliloquy guy, like low key, honestly. Like he wrote his shit out verbatim. Like if he made any mistake, he was like Chris Rock. Chris Rock did the same thing. Chris Rock writes his shit out verbatim. Bill Burr doesn't write, but I have a tendency to like comics that don't write. So I want to get good at not writing and just being like, oh, I'm feeling that moment. I'm gonna go on stage and just do it. Like nah, nah, sit down. It's years of experience, years of experience of that shit. So that's the funny part about it. There's so much shit to talk about. It's kind of hard for me to just pick one. I'm really trying to think. Like it's a lot of stuff we could talk about. We could talk about a lot of shit, but like just picking one is a little tough. Like, cause I could talk about old shit, but then again, who wants to really hear old shit? I don't care. No, I'm joking. Like, nah, but it's a lot of shit I want to talk about, but I don't know. I'm trying to think like what do I really want to talk about? Alright, I know what I can talk about. So I've been writing this script, right? We don't know if it's gonna take off. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, but the thought process is just really what I want to talk about. Is like, cause I'm trying to like make a show where I want it to be like, my kind of funny. Like I don't know what my kind of funny is, but I know sometimes the shit that I'm watching now is not really that funny to me. And I want to make a movie that's just like fucking hilarious. Like I feel like I can do that. I feel like I can do that. So I'm sitting there, looking up things, looking up certain ways to talk, like looking up certain things that if I'm writing it and I'm laughing, but the scariest part about that shit is when you doing some shit like that is you put all this time and effort in it, and what if it's not funny? Then it's just not funny. I mean, it happens, right? So that's the best part about it. At least you did it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just gonna. I just gotta finish it. I'm not almost done, but I'm like, I'm done with the concept of it, right? So I just gotta put a little bit more time and effort into it, and I feel like I'll be able to finish it. And when I finish it, I don't know what to do with it. Oh, you know what I know? I don't really know what to do with it. But what I'm gonna try to do is just try to act it out. Try to create like kind of like a small movie, or so to say, a small like little series, and see if I can get that shit bubbling. Like, might as well. Like, why not create my own little path? I be thinking about this shit for a second. Like, a lot of these people like that we don't hear about, right, or like certain roles that you probably see, like certain actors, right? You'll never know. You'll never get to see them. How do I put that out? It's not coming out right. Like certain roles, right? I don't know what role would be good for me, but how about I create a role for myself and see if that's good for me? I mean, that's my only thought process of that, is just see if I can create something for myself and see how I do in it. If I can do good in it, I do good in it. If I don't, I don't. We just go back to the drawing board. That's life, you know. It's trial and error. Trial and error. You make a mistake, you learn from it, or you don't learn from it and you just keep making mistakes, the same mistake over and over again, which I don't mind. I've made mistakes plenty of times in my life, you know. Like yesterday. No, I'm joking. I'm not. Nah, but yeah. So the best part about this podcast is the fact that it doesn't have any structure. That's what I love. It's the fact that I don't have any structure to this podcast, right? And you know, I have a friend that he kind of gets mad that he doesn't have any structure to it. But then I say, hey, you don't gotta listen to it if you don't like the fact that it doesn't have structure. I think it's just, you know, it's kind of a little bit like brain dropping, some shit like that, right? You just listen to it and just enjoy it. At least try to enjoy it. I think the last podcast that I did though was like, I wouldn't say it was heavy, but it was like a lot of shit into it. And I like the fact that it was just me, you know, just really getting a lot off my chest. And I really did enjoy that last podcast though. But I enjoy mostly every single podcast I do. I put it out because I enjoy it, and you know, I'm glad I'm still doing this podcast. And I told myself this podcast is gonna be very revealing. Actually, me doing it on my first episode, I said I was gonna be. It's calls for a take of me being vulnerable, right? Because if it doesn't happen, if this podcast doesn't take off, which I don't care if it does or not, but I'm just speaking in general. If this doesn't happen, it's my fault, right? Because I'm putting in effort into this, right? If I don't give a fuck about it, then it's not gonna take off because I don't give a fuck about it. But if I'm putting in effort into it consistently on a consistent basis, it's gonna get what I'm gonna get what I need out of it, and what I need out of it now is a platform. You know, I need to speak. I need to be able to speak. I need my voice. Well, I don't need it. I want it. I don't. It's not. Need is a strong word. I want my voice heard, and I want people. You know, at least see if I can create a following. You know, not even really a following. Jesus, this sounds like very dictatorship-ish. I just want to be a dictator. Like I said, I want to create a following. I want people to follow me. I want people to bow down. I'm joking, obviously, but that's good. Oh. On to another subject. Bryson Tiller dropped a new song. Yep. Bryson Tiller dropped. He's finally back. The R&B guy. You might not, if you don't know who Bryson Tiller is, look up his first album. It was pretty good. First and second album, I would say it's pretty good for like the R&B charts. If you don't know, right? If you know me, you know that I listen to a lot of R&B. Hey, that rhymed, huh? Yeah. If you know me, I listen to a lot of R&B. And Bryson Tiller had dropped a song which he fucking been waiting for, like, what, 3 years or some shit like that. You know, he kind of like stopped making music. I don't know the particulars of why. Does it matter? Nah. But I know what happened though. When he stopped, when he first came onto the scene, he was that hot guy where like he was moving the needle. He was making like his records was really buzzing. He got real big too. But like everybody stole that motherfucking style. I'm telling you, like I'm not talking about like the people who was there before. I'm talking about like a lot of people really bit his style. Which I don't want to go with specifics about names and shit about who stole the style, but it's a lot of people that just bit his shit real quick, like making R&B records over trap beats. Oh, nobody doing that shit before him. But he's finally back, or so to say. I don't know. Just something to you know, fill the air, I guess. If you're into music like that or into R&B music, check it out. See what's going on. You know, open your ears up. I hate country music, but I don't mind listening to something new. Like when somebody had showed me, I found out about this chick named Casey Musgraves. I had like heard her album. I think it was called Rainbow or some shit like that. Don't judge me, all right? But I heard her album and I thought it was like really fucking good. I honestly thought it was really good. Like I thought her voice was like very heavenly, and couldn't find out. I'm like, I fuck with it. I still don't like country music that much, but that's just me in general. I don't like country music. I think I don't. I won't. I'm not gonna sound ignorant when I say all country music sound the same, but I think most country music have like the same storyline. It's kind of like a 2K game, where oh you had it and then you lost it. Oh, and your baby left you. Okay, all right. Or you love your girl. Okay, wow, all right. Oh, you're gonna drink. Oh, got it. But don't all music have the same kind of storyline? But I think country music is just so goddamn repetitive. At least with R&B, there's a beat to it. Ain't no beat to country. The country music with beats like sound corny as fuck. I like Darius Rucker, and it's not because his music is good. It's because he's black. But like I was saying, but just to show people about other music and stuff like that. I've been getting into listening to like older school music, like so to say, where I heard this song was I think by Johnny Mathis. It's called Chances Are. I don't know. I mean, it's nothing new, but I thought this was a pretty fucking cool thing, like just to listen to. It was like very like it was very heavenly, like watching that shit because you like looking at it like, yo, back in the 50s, these motherfuckers was vibing to this shit, right? Like they was really like, yo, you hear this shit? That Johnny Mathis shit is bumping, huh? But that's what it makes. That's what makes me laugh. Like when these records was dropping, they was like, "Yo, listen to this new Johnny Mathis," or I don't know how they was like, but it's just funny to hear how music sound now, right? Like, oh my God, Drake just dropped a new song. You check this shit out. Oh my God, Sam Cooke just dropped a new song, or I don't know. But it's just funny just to think about how much music has changed. You hear from like everything was like heavenly when they was singing back in the day to like now like fuck these bitches, man. All these bitches is hoes, but you can't really nowadays. Like back then they used to treat women like queens and shit like that. Now they are what they are, right? That's the funny part about it. And I don't mean it like that when I say it like they are what they are, but yeah I do mean it with that because that's not mean, but I'm saying like I'm not saying women in general because men are too. All right, yeah. Way to sit on the fence on that one, huh? But I think what's crazy part about the music what's changed is like I don't know if it's like family oriented now. Like I think now I'm seeing more of a surge for families now. That I'm not used to. I didn't see before. Like back then, I think it was like more family oriented. Like like you would sing Johnny Mathis to your wife or some shit like that, right? I don't know. I mean, like, you would sing, but it's more family oriented. It was really more about love and shit like that. And I think it came to a point where that shit got tiresome because they started finding out that love is not really all that shit that they be talking about, right? Love is a job, nigga. Love is tough. Being in love is tough. Meeting a girl that's gonna treat you right is tough. Well, not even saying treat you right, or like at least be patient with you, I guess. I don't want to get into my baggage. That's just one thought. Like I would love imagine me just doing a whole podcast and just crying and shit, talking about some shit that like, nah, I would never do that. But it's funny to think, that nowadays it's like this love shit. Like, cause coming up as a kid, you thought love was easy. I swear, it was maybe just me. Maybe I was just a dummy that thought that shit was easy. I swear I thought love was easy. It's not. It's a job. You got to work for it. You got to make sure you fucking feeding it every morning. Make sure it's sleeping right. You can't treat this shit like it's a fucking like it's an easy thing to do. It's like a plant. You gotta a plant or a plant is like plants die all the time, but dogs don't. All right, or cats. Nah. Because dogs need you. Cats really don't need you. So you got to treat it like a dog, like a pet dog, a baby dog. You got to cater it. You got to make sure it's good. You got to show it love. You got to show it attention. You got to do all that dealing with love. Love is a hard thing to deal with. And sometimes people are not ready to deal with that shit. That's why the divorce rate is so fucking high. But hey, I still wonder why. I don't know if people, I wonder if people believe in marriage like you're supposed to now. You want to though, right? Remember like if you look at all the like the old school TV shows back in the day, right? the end goal was like at the end of the episode, right? The dude the main character and the significant other end up getting married, right? That's always the end goal. But they never show you what happens after all that shit, right? They never shows you what happened after all that shit. And what really happens, honestly, is they just get fat. And, they have a couple of kids. The wife gets fat. The guy gets out of shape, and he's just working his ass off every day at a 9 to 5 job. And it just gets a little sad. But hey, they're happy. I don't know if that actually happens, but allegedly, all right. But I've seen a lot of people that live that lifestyle of like when they first met, they was just the happiest ever, right? And then it came to the point where they're just stuck, and then they just stay there and just be stuck, two fat stuck people together. Well, they wasn't fat when they got together. I'm gonna start talking about fat people. That's fat couples. But I think if the perfect time to get fat is actually no, the worst time to get fat is in a relationship. Being honest, I don't want to say that's a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker for me. Well, it might be. It depends. All right, let's be honest here. All right, if I'm with a girl, all right, and I'm able to stay my same weight, all right, I just don't want you to get that big. I can take 20 pounds, 30 pounds. I don't know if I can take 35 pounds, but 40 pounds, like, and you just here's the thing about it. If you just letting that shit just be, like, I understand the excuses, right? Oh, I have a kid. I have a kid. I don't want to, I can't exercise no more. I'm going through postpartum depression. Like, oh, I understand. I'll be able to. I can weather that storm. But let's say you just didn't have a kid, right? And you just, bloated up to a couple of, shit I can handle. I don't know. But that's love, though, right? Love is a job. You got to work at that shit. You can't just sit there and let that shit just. You got to be able to check that. And the only reason why I'm checking that shit, you got to tell her that. The only reason why I'm checking this shit is because I love you so much, and I wouldn't allow you to do this shit to our relationship. This is my relationship with you. I don't want you to breach my contract that I have with you, and my contract is love. I love you so much that I care about your health. But does that shit work? No. She's not gonna. Whatever. I just hope, whatever. This is a slippery slope I'm talking about here. I'm talking about, But I see, I'll be honest with you, right? I see a lot of men go through this shit. Like, it was this one guy I knew, which he doesn't know that I know, but I know. When they first got together, they both was like really skinny, like real skinny. He put on some weight. Like, he put on some weight where it's like, the weight fit him good, right? But she put on some weight, and it didn't fit her good. So it's like she just got bigger and bigger. But he was just stuck with her because he was married to her. So I was like, ooh. And he has to deal with that. And I'm just like, hey. But it's no knock to them or them not being happy. You know what? I don't know where I'm going with this shit, but it's not, well, obviously. But I stand by what I'm saying. Love is a tricky thing. That's what I'm saying. The main goal of this conversation is that love is a job that you have to work at. And have I ever been in love? I don't know. Probably. I like to think I have. I like to think I have. Probably like the only reason it probably didn't work is probably because it's. Honestly, I think the only reason it didn't work was my fault. It's all my fault. I can use my youth as an excuse, right? Yeah, my youth as an excuse. I've used it before. I'm gonna use it again. My youth was the excuse of that. Looking back on it now, on the situation at hand, I probably should have made the proper decision. I probably shouldn't have not did the things that I've done. And we're not gonna talk about what I've done, but just putting it out there. But then again, right? I said I don't know what have I been in love, right? So by me saying that, people can say, "Oh, since you don't know what the fuck you be in love, you should shut the fuck up." Well, I'm not. I'm gonna keep talking. Why not? I mean, why not? I'm not saying anything completely wrong. I just sound a little bit. I'm very cautious. I need to stop being cautious with this shit because I know what I want to say, but I know what I want to say about this shit, but I just don't want to say it because I could offend people. Even though I might be contradicting what I said before. I could offend people, but I don't know. Cause I don't like offending. I'm not mean, but I don't want to offend people. But it's weird. It's weird. This situation is weird. Like, love is weird, you know. Especially if you meet somebody. Let's say you meet somebody, right? That fits all your fucking things that you want in life, right? She has everything that you want, or he or she, whatever. It's 2020. Whatever you want in a woman, right? And she fits all that, right? Let's say it don't work, and no reason to it. It just don't work. So every girl that you meet after her, right? It's like not the same. It's like bits and pieces of the girl that you know, the girl of your dreams that you supposedly had met. What do you do there? It's tough, right? It's weird. What do you do there? Every girl that you meet after that is like bits and pieces. It's never the same. It's weird, huh? People deal with that a lot. Actually, that's what I'm dealing with. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. Did it get depressing, or is this me talking? Well, nah, fuck it. It's not getting depressing. This is getting sad because I'm just realizing, like, okay, this is gonna be a convo after this one. I'm not in the dumps. I'm feeling great, actually. I'm just kind of really didn't know what to talk about today. I really didn't have any topics. You know, this is just me going off the top of my head. I don't mind it. Like, you know, why not? Why not? It's funny because, like, it feels like I'm just rambling on, because I am, but nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong with me, guys. If you're wondering, nothing's wrong with me. I'm just talking. Why not? Why not? And I keep saying why not. Only because that's a good thing to use in life, right? Is you see how I was able to stare it right back. So the good thing to use in life, right? If it's anything that you want to do, you've been thinking about doing or some shit like that, why not? Why not do it? What you waiting for? Like, come on, why not? What's gonna happen? Like, jump off that fucking bridge. Not literally, but I'm talking about, like, you know, figuratively. You know, so to say, like, if you making any kind of risk or any attempt in life, you have to jump or move forward a step. Whatever that fucking motivational shit. Back to my first point, right now. Nah, but what else I could talk about though? What else I could talk about? I'm gonna edit out this pause. This is a long pause to this shit, so let me think what else I could talk about this. What else could I talk about? Black Lives Matter. No, I'm joking. But no, real quick though, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it means something, but I don't know who's running Black Lives Matter. I can't be. I don't. I really have no clue. I don't know who started it. I don't know where it came from. I support it. I still don't know where it came from. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Don't know who's running it. I don't know who's spearheading it. I don't know if it's like some white person doing this just to create uproar. You don't never really know. But I do understand that Black Lives Matter, and they do, you know. And it's funny when I hear people talk about, oh, how could you say Black Lives? What about all that? Shut the fuck. It's not. Look, listen. You're obviously missing the fucking point of why Black Lives Matter. The reason why Black Lives Matter is because they fucking matter. Now, because like we've been it's been documented way too much for us not to notice that it's majority of black men or women are getting killed by cops for, you know, something that I shouldn't have to die for. You know, just because I have a dispute with a cop don't mean I got to get killed for. That's the reason. You know, well, you have plenty of videos of, you know, Caucasian people going at cops and shit like that, and they're good. They just fight them, they beat them up, but they're good. You know, we get killed. You know, I shouldn't be scared getting pulled over. That shouldn't be my fear. And it's not like I'm scared because I'm driving without my license or I'm driving with no insurance. I'm scared because I don't know what's the next step after that, right? Because what it's supposed to be, right, is a ticket. Nah, I had to get out the car. Motherfucker go, I smell weed. You fucking out your goddamn mind if you do. Go get them dogs. But they won't do that. But you know, that's why Black Lives Matter. Because we're dying out here. We're dying out here. And something needs to get done about something needs to get done. I still don't know who's running Black Lives Matter. I really don't. I support everything Black Lives Matter does, but I just don't have no clue on who's running Black Lives Matter. And I wish we had, like, honestly, I think it would be so much better if they had a face. Like, I think people will really be on board with it, because if they had like a face, like, I am the face of Black Lives Matter, I created Black Lives Matter, because I swear it just came out of nowhere. I'm being honest, it came out of nowhere, because Black Lives been getting taken. It's been getting taken, but now we're finally hearing a lot about it, because now we got these things called I don't know if you know about this. They got these things called camera phones where they record everything. So there's no point for you to see the injustice that's being done. Like that fucking Jake, my apologies, it was Jeff Blake. That Jeff Blake situation where he was like, look, I was in the military for 6 years, right? And of course you're taught that if somebody walks away from you or some shit like that, you don't know what they have planned, right? But as a cop, like, I'm like, come on, man. Really? Like, first, if y'all having a dispute and he goes into his car and he fucking, I don't know what, I'm pretty sure he's reaching for his ID and shit, because he was out there in the show in basketball shorts. He didn't have anything on him. So he went to his car to probably get his insurance and ID and shit like that, right? And then all of a sudden, all you hear is, pow! He shot this motherfucker 7 times in his back. He's paralyzed. And the best part about this shit is that he's fucking still alive. So now we can hear his fucking side of the story, so he can fucking, I need the motherfuckers to go down. I need them to go down. And if his side of the story does anything, I hope it just, I just hope what it does is, I hope they fire, and I hope they just break down this whole cop situation. Like, just, I don't want to defund the police, but I would like to fire all the motherfuckers. I would like to, like, just fire all the motherfuckers, or they follow that fucking contract with Black America or some shit like that Ice Cube had did, where if you're a cop, you're policing this fucking area, you're gonna have to live there. Which I thought that was a great idea. If you're a cop and you're policing the area that you say you're policing, you're gonna have to live in that fucking area. Nah, you're not gonna have to live fucking 20 miles away from what you're policing. You're gonna have to live in that fucking area that you're policing, because now you know what the fuck is really going on. It ain't no shit that you just don't know, that you just assume that everybody's fucking drug dealing, because some people are just fucking going to school. Alright, I'm gonna stop. I realize I got a little angry. I gotta calm down. So this episode is a bunch of nonsense, I'm gonna be honest with you. But hey, you guys have a good one, and I'm glad to be back, and see you guys tomorrow. And I'm not gonna renege on this one. Alright, I'm gonna actually leave it on this end. But thank you guys for listening, and you guys have a great one, and I'll see you next week. Alright, next week I'm gonna have topics. I promise you I am. I just gotta write these motherfuckers out. But like, I kinda like lose my pen every now and then, and I lose like, cause like, you know, ideas that hit me. Well, y'all don't give a fuck about that. Well, no, I'm gonna just say it. Ideas hit me immediately, right? I get ideas like that, but I fucking go, alright, I should write this down. I never do. And then so I just run out of topics. But I promise you, next week I'm gonna have a bunch of topics, and I might just I might only just do one, but we're not gonna get into specifics. Oh yeah, free my nigga Bill Cosby too. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Alright, you know what? I said I was gonna renege on this one. I did. I'm sorry. R. Kelly got beat up. R. Kelly got beat up by he got beat up by some inmate because he was frustrated, and then like it's like videos that surface, like it's like photos surface of the fucking inmate that beat his ass. It's like a motherfucker that's like tatted up. It's like a Latino king or some shit like that, right? And I just thought that was just funny. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody to understand that. I thought that was hilarious. R. Kelly got beat up in jail. You know, how does that go out as a story? Like, shouldn't we like, okay, assume that? But whatever. All right, now I'm done. All right, like I said, you guys have a good one, and thank you guys for listening, and I'll be back again next week.